I've lived long enough to know that life never gives us exactly what we expect. Sometimes it grants us victories that feel like defeats. Other times, it takes everything away just to teach us the value of what truly matters: hope. And the few letters she sent me were the reason I held on to life amid fear, hunger, and loneliness. My name is Antonio, and when I went to war, I left behind more than my youth. I left my heart. Her name was Teresa, my first love, my refuge. Leaving was one of the hardest decisions of my life, but I promised myself I'd come back home and come back for her. The only thing that kept me strong was the thought of seeing her again, of coming home and starting our story over. But before she even said a word, I knew something was wrong. She had met another man and fallen in love. Every letter I wrote to Teresa was a promise. My eyes filled with tears, but I couldn't cry. War had taught me to resist, but in that moment, I didn't want to resist. I didn't want anger. She tried to hold on to what she felt for me, but life, loneliness, and the fear of never seeing me again pushed her into something she never expected. I didn't blame her. Maybe life was giving me a chance to love in a way I never imagined. It was a dry, silent pain until I looked at that child and felt affection, not pity. That child knew nothing about me, but I knew everything about Teresa. I was the one who heard his first words. I was the one beside him in the hardest times. The pain didn't go away overnight, but it changed everything, a mix of loss and confusion. When the war ended, I wasn't the same man. The day I came back, she greeted me with a smile, but it was different, a smile that carried a heavy weight. She asked me to sit down. Then she told me, while I was at war, she met someone else. I was left speechless. Maybe it's time you take a look at your own life and ask yourself. She tried to fight it, but then, with a trembling voice, she said, "It's the decisions made with a heart that define us forever." She had a child with him. I had two choices: follow the path of resentment or understand that sometimes life doesn't happen to hurt us, but to transform us. That was just the beginning of a story I never imagined living. She told me she'd understand if I wanted to leave. Even when it hurts, it transforms us into something greater. Sitting in that simple chair, I realized I knew nothing about that man, but I knew I didn't want pride to speak louder than love. Then I looked at the child, a little boy with dark skin, bright, curious eyes. He looked at me and smiled, and in that smile, something inside me changed. I realized love isn't measured by color, origin, or circumstances. If Teresa had found some relief in that man, and if that child was born from it, maybe life had shown me a path I never wanted, but needed. I learned to live with them. Time passed. Years later, I became something I never thought I would, a father at heart. I was the one who taught him to ride a bike. And in doing so, I discovered my biggest enemy was the pride inside me. And Teresa became my companion more than ever. It wasn't easy, but love was greater. Today, looking back, I see that the news that once hurt me changed the way I saw the world and myself. It taught me that forgiveness isn't a sign of weakness, and that sometimes the most unexpected things are exactly what we need to experience. I know not everyone would have done the same, but life didn't give me the ending I expected. It gave me something even greater. Sometimes what seems like the end is just the beginning, and when love speaks louder, nothing can stop us. If you're hearing this now, maybe it's time to let love speak louder. I'm not telling you this as someone perfect. There were nights I wondered if I was a fool, if I was lying to myself. But then I'd see that child running through the house and I'd understand. Love isn't about deserving it. Love is about choosing to love, choosing to forgive, choosing to stay. And no, people around me didn't understand. Many called me weak, a coward. They said I should leave and start over. But life isn't a story of revenge. Life is a story of redemption. And my redemption came when I discovered that loving, even a child they call my stepson, meant everything. He calls me dad and I call him son. And no one in this world will take that away from us. Teresa taught me to be a real man, not because she failed me, but because she had the courage to tell me the truth. I learned that true love survives even the fiercest storms. Maybe you're going through something like this. Maybe someone has disappointed you. Don't let pain harden your heart. Sometimes it's in pain that we learn what love truly is. I went to war thinking I'd fight enemies. This was the battle worth fighting. If this story touched your heart, leave me a comment. Share it. Who knows? Maybe it'll reach someone who needs to hear this today. And if you believe love can transform lives, subscribe to this channel. Here, we don't tell stories to entertain. We tell stories to remind you that love always speaks louder. And when we choose to love, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop us from being happy. Thank you for walking this journey with me. And never forget, sometimes the news that seems to destroy us is exactly what changes everything. Now, a heartfelt invitation for you. Sometimes, all it takes is a story to remind us of what we really need in life. Antonio's story isn't just about a man who came back from war and faced an unexpected truth. It's about a heart that chose love when it had every reason to choose resentment. Think about it. How many times have you let pride or fear make your decisions? How many opportunities to love have slipped away because you didn't dare? Antonio dared. He chose to stay when walking away seemed easier. He chose to forgive when holding a grudge felt justified. And in that choice, he found a love bigger than he imagined. This story is a call for you to reflect. What would happen if today you chose love over pride? If you chose forgiveness over anger? If you chose to build a new story instead of clinging to the old wounds? If this story touched your heart even a little, don't leave in silence. Tell me in the comments, have you ever lived something like this? Or do you know someone who did? Your words may inspire someone who needs courage right now. And if you believe, like Antonio, that love can transform everything, hit the subscribe button. This isn't just a channel of stories. This is a space where we remember that love is always stronger than fear. And sometimes listening to the right story at the right time changes everything. So, will you let love speak louder today? Pregunter AO ChatGPT.